Welcome to Quant Minds. I'm joined by Matthias Arnsdorf from JP Morgan. Matthias, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello, thank you for the invite.
So tell me about yourself and your role at JP Morgan.
Yes, I work in quantitative research at JP Morgan. Specifically, I head the Counterparty Risk quant group. We work on all aspects of counterparty risk. We calculate the expected exposure, the potential future exposure for supporting credit officers, calculate CVA, FVA for supporting the XVA trading desk, but also importantly, we calculate the regulatory capital requirements for counterparty risk. I've been working in this role maybe 10 years now, and overall JP Morgan about 20 years, so quite a long time, lots of change. Yeah, it's been very interesting over the years to see how it develops, in particular in the counterparty risk space.
So this event has been so eventful already. So what has been the biggest news story for you from your role?
I mean, obviously 2023 was a challenging year for the industry, but I suppose also for the economy as a whole, right? I mean, coming out of COVID, the Ukraine crisis, inflation is high and that leading to high interest rates. So it's a lot happening. Big events, clearly Silicon Valley Bank and also Credit Suisse. That certainly was a shock. Having said that, I mean, to not just dwell on the sort of negatives, I think also 2023 saw emergence of ChatGPT and large language models in a big way. And I think actually 2023 will be remembered for a really pivotal moment in sort of AI machine learning. I mean, certainly personally, I thought what we see now, absolutely amazing. And the rate of progress and just what we can do now, totally beyond what would have been expected even a few years ago.
Absolutely. It's great to keep it positive as well. So what are your key takeaways here then? So what do you see for the rest of the year?
Well, I suppose, first of all, I mean, we're not out of the woods, right? So we still have high inflation, high rates. I think that is going to certainly stay with us and sort of take adjustment. I mean, we have to bear in mind that most people are, we've had low rates for 25 years, 30 years. So that's what most people know in terms of their working life. So this is an adjustment that will carry on. So I think clearly it also highlights the importance of risk management. Discipline is key. Also having sort of always looking to the future, right? I think often risk management is looking in the rearview mirror, fighting the battles of the past, but we have to stay vigilant. I think that's became very clear this year.
So what priorities do you see for risk managers here then?
So, I mean, from my point of view, particularly from a counterparty risk point of view, clearly funding is a big theme, liquidity is a big theme. So I see that a lot in my space, so increased focused. I'm particularly interested in whether this will lead to sort of renewed interest in some of the XVA metrics, for example, the margin valuation adjustment, the MVA, or maybe even the capital valuation adjustment, KVA, because the balance sheet management is much more critical at this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned already ChatGPT. What practical and strategic challenges do you see in applying these sort of new technologies into quant finance?
And first of all, it's getting to grips with the technology, right? So I think it is fairly new. Finding sort of ways to really apply that most effectively, that's clearly going to be the primary challenge. Secondly, there will be issues around how we operate safely, how we govern the emerging AI properly, regulation around that. That's also going to be a key challenge. But I'm sure the investment in that area is going to be massive. I mean, it's very much a race to get to the forefront of being able to use that technology, in particular in finance. I see a lot of that happening already, and I'm sure that's going to continue.
Yeah, wonderful. So I just wanted to talk about Quant Minds International for a moment, and then as a last closing thought, what are you most interested in talking about and learning about this year?
So obviously, given my background, anything counterparty risk related, anything on XVA, there's quite a few things going on in that area. I was quite interested to see some talks on blockchain, in particular in relation to collateral. So yeah, very interested in that. Also always fascinated to see anything on quantum computing. In my past life, I was a physicist, so have a soft spot for anything quantum. So very interested to see what's going on in that area.
Yes, it's going to be a really, really big agenda later in the year. All right, Matthias, thank you so much for joining me today.